This is even better than we expected as a recent report dropped revealing the top contracts from around the NHL, and the St. Louis Blues have three key players among the top of the list that changes everything for the franchise moving forward. We're going to break down these key players, how it has implications on the Blues, and so much more later on this episode. So, Darius, let's just hop straight into this. Now, going into this, we've seen a report dropped by Dom on Twitter. Awesome report, will be linked down below. Go read through the entire thing. And with this, he goes in to look at the league-wide contract landscape, grading every contract around the league with specific teams. Now, this will be down below. We're not going to cover every contract and the grading and all of that. But with this article, we did see the St. Louis Blues jump from 30th rank last year with contract grades all the way up to 19th. Now, they moved on from big contracts. The San Jose Sharks helped them out quite a bit. But the biggest thing is there's three key forwards that are going to help this team accelerate as they're still very young and going to help with their future build. Now, the big thing is going through this, Robert Thomas coming in with his contract of $8.1 million, playing at just over $11 million model value from around the league. Now, Darius, what is your thoughts? Listen, Robert Thomas, one of the most electric players, one of the most underrated and underappreciated, if you're asking other fan bases, players in the league. What is your thoughts on Robert Thomas, his contract that's going to get even better with the cap rising?
Yeah, point of game player last year. And again, so many people disrespect this player and not just disrespect him, but forget how good he is and that he's kind of, almost hiding away in St. Louis. Like, I feel like people do not give this guy enough credit for what he's able to bring to a lineup and be that number one center for the St. Louis Blues. And again, like I mentioned, point of game player. He has a positive output in terms of the model from Dom Lucian as well. And I think that, when you're looking at around the league, he's playing at an $11.1 million pace right now. He has a positive value. You can see this again based off this model of 87%. That's fantastic value. So Robert Thomas continues to do his thing. He's going to be a great player for years to come. There's more interesting players, I think, on this list that we're going to get to, of course, in terms of the impact to the team, but great value contract, $8.125 million. He's playing at $11 million value right now, and he still has 5 years left on this deal, and the salary cap is going to go up year after year. So I think that, great value for Robert Thomas, solidified number one center of this team, and I feel like he's being disrespected by other fan bases by the fact that they're just not straight up disrespecting him. They're just not talking about him. Like, more people should be talking about how good Robert Thomas is.
Because I think the big thing is you're looking at a contract, 8.1 win signing. A lot of people said maybe this is a lot of money, but with the cap jumping 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, until we're well over 100 million, this contract's going to start looking a lot smaller and age into, if not already being one of the best contracts in the National Hockey League as Robert Thomas continues dominating the league and making a case to make Canada during the Olympics. And if you want us to cover some Olympic stuff as well, we'll do that for you as well, Blues fans. But that goes straight into the second player, where we do know there's a lot of young pieces on this team that have smaller contracts that are playing well above it. And that goes straight into Jake Neighbours. Jake Neighbours having a dominant year, 22 goals, 46 points, looking like a pure goal scorer. And as he ages and gets a bigger role with this Blues team, he's going to continue dominating in the National Hockey League, already sitting and playing at just about a $5 million rate, getting paid 3.8, so only about $1 million shy, but still getting more value for a player in a league where salary cap trumps all. What is your thoughts on how Jake Neighbours has continued to get better? And do you think there's a second apron that we can see him hit where he becomes even a superstar?
Definitely. I think that there's a lot of runway left for Jake Neighbours. He's only 23 years old. You see his cap hit. He just signed that fresh new deal that's going to kick in this year, 2-year deal. So you have him locked up at 3.75, and he's playing at an almost $5 million rate right now. I'm going to keep bringing it up. The salary cap's going up, and he's playing at an almost $5 million rate. And you have 2 years of him left on that sweetheart deal. So I think that that's great value. And I think he's coming into his own. A lot of people might be like, he's already coming into his own. He's a great player. He is, absolutely. But he's about to hit his prime, and he's going to take it to another level. And I think that's really exciting for Blues fans. He's going to step into not necessarily a new role, but he's going to, step his game up. And you could see last year, a half a point a game player That's great, or a little bit more than that, but half a point a game player. Great value for that cap hit. Half a point a game player at almost $4 million, I think is great value if you look around the league. So not only that, when his contract expires, he is an RFA. So I feel like that doesn't play into the model and what we're breaking down in this video, but that's something to consider as well, that he's still under team control when he is an RFA. So tidy work. Obviously, Alex Steen is going to have to pick up that one, but I think a lot of people are very high, Blues fans, I should say, are very high on Jake Neighbours heading into this season. I think he's going to have another great season. And again, really excited to talk about the next guy, but Jake Neighbours, of course, is a guy that, can't go overlooked, former first-round pick, and he's doing some great things for the team right now.
And I think that's perfectly said. When looking at this team, you have a mix of veteran guys. Robert Thomas, who's been with the team for quite some time. You have Jake Neighbours coming into his own. But there's one player that the St. Louis Blues stole from another franchise just last season. And of course, that comes in with Holloway. Holloway came in to join this team on a $2 million contract, playing at just shy of $10 million value. This guy has been outstanding for this team. Now, yes, his contract is going to come in at a pretty penny going into his extension, but at the very moment, the fact that Doug Armstrong swept him out from the Edmonton Oilers, including bringing in Broberg as well, who's top of the value on defense as well. We know how good Holloway has been and can be. 26 goals, 63 points, not being able to play in the playoffs with an injury. But I would be willing to say if we had Holloway on this team, this is a Blues team that would have went to the second round, maybe advanced into the finals. What is your thoughts on Dylan Holloway? And in my opinion, and I don't even think it's up to debate, this is one of the top 10 contracts in the National Hockey League.
I think it's probably top 5. I mean, look at that gap in terms of, if you look around the league at the contracts based on this model from Dom Lucian, this is one of the biggest gaps. Obviously, Adam Fox is playing at, apparently, according to this model, like a $18 million rate, which is crazy. But this is one of the biggest gaps. Like, he's playing at an almost $10 million rate and he makes $2 million. Absolutely stole him away from the Edmonton Oilers. I cannot believe the Edmonton Oilers allowed that to happen, but good news for the St. Louis Blues and Blues fans. So again, if you look at his point production, this is very interesting to me. He slowly started to make a name for himself with the Edmonton Oilers. He looked great in the playoffs last year, I guess I should say, or 2 seasons ago at this point, when he went to the Stanley Cup final with the Edmonton Oilers. I feel like he really arrived in the playoffs. He was showing flashes in the regular season, but really arrived in the playoffs. And then he certainly arrived on the scene in St. Louis, had a fantastic year. And I feel like he's going to take another step forward. Again, a lot of people forget, only 22 years old. He's going to take another step forward to being that guy. And he's going to be a point a game player this year. And like you alluded to as well, take a shot, everyone, in the playoffs this year with the St. Louis Blues, didn't play, right? He would have been a difference maker, I think, with that confidence that he built going to the Stanley Cup final. Not only that, building off of a fantastic regular season that he had. So I feel like heading into next year, he's playing at a $10 million rate. Obviously, he's going to get a large payday heading into next year, or the season after, I should say, this one coming up. But that's something that, all Blues fans are going to be keeping an eye on, because he's only making 2.2 right now. And he's playing at a $10 million rate. And with the cap going up, he is going to get paid handsomely. And hopefully it's long-term, because this guy is going to be an absolute stud. I think he's a point a game player this year. And I think Blues fans can all agree that everyone's excited to watch him play again this year.
And I mean, he's been outstanding. The Holloway glasses, which I'm throwing on for this episode, with him coming into the scene, it changes everything for this team. But I mean, Blues fans, what is your overall thoughts on the build of this team? We know this team made it quite far, and a lot farther than a lot of people expected last season. This next season coming is going to be very exciting, bringing in new names. If you want us to cover more of this article, let us know down below and speak in the comments. We're doing a little section for you guys, and that goes straight into comment of the day, and that goes to Rocket8653. So happy to have you back, Mark. You got me blushing like a schoolgirl. Use all that PTO in the offseason. Listen, we're not going anywhere. It's going to be crazy content coming up in the regular season, so keep your guys' eyes out for that. And shout out to you guys for leaving comments. If you want to be featured, go down and leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care.